Hey, good afternoon everyone. This is Alicia Pate from Hustle and Burn, and I wanted to show y'all a video today on how to make these really cool cigar stands out of acrylic. They're super neat and they're a big seller to guys, and I think there's something that you might want to learn about. First, I use Adobe Illustrator for all my design. So here I have two sets, one for 1/8 inch and one for 1/4 inch settings. One thing I want you to notice though in the real picture is I engrave on the back side. So this is the way the design should look when you're finished. But in my software, we jump back over there, I reversed the image so that I can engrave on the reverse side and have the flat, cleanest side only show the see-through part. So to be more specific, I don't want the rough part to be showing on the outside. I feel that it pops more when you engrave on the reverse and you see through it. So now you see a shot of us here in Lightburn and you see my settings. One thing important to note is that I'm going to run the engrave job first and then the cut. I think it makes for cleaner jobs and you don't want that unit or that piece shifting around. So always do your engraves first. So I have my engrave set to the green color and those are the settings there. And then the next job that will go will be the cut. So remember, this is for a 1/4 inch acrylic, and so that's what the settings are for today's job. So I like to buy my acrylic in large sheets just because I get more value for my money. So I'm going to hack the front door open. That way I can stick the extended piece out there. I did a frame before I started engraving here. This is an example of me starting that engraved job first. And then this will run pretty quick. I think this is like a 2-minute job. I'm going to go ahead and let it run so you guys can see. My focal point on this job right now is about 0.9 millimeters. So it takes probably about a minute to run the engrave, and then we'll jump to the cut next. So while this is going, I'll just hit a safety moment. You guys should always keep a fire extinguisher by your unit, and secondarily, you should always keep a spray bottle full of water. If you do have a flash fire, you really don't want to be using a full-blown fire extinguisher because you'll have a lot of mess to clean up. So I like to keep a little spray bottle next to mine. That way, if I have some small flare-up, I can just squish it out with that. And don't ever leave your machine. I've seen too many videos of people leaving their machine and it catching on fire. So just some safety tips out there. All right, so we're getting kind of close to being the end of this engrave. And just kind of what I followed on before in the first part of this session is I do my engraves on acrylic in the reverse or mirror image. Just because I think it looks better when you're looking at the piece when it's complete. The light really catches the engraved white part that you've etched out or removed out, and it just looks much better. Okay, now we're going to jump into the actual cut. So I gave you my cut settings before, and the cut's pretty quick, and hopefully it comes out really clean. We're really looking for clean edges on the back side, right? You want to make sure that you go through the acrylic and you don't have any cracks or funky spots on the back, on the underneath of the acrylic. You want it to be nice and clean. If it's not nice and clean, then you want to up your power settings so that you can get a good clean cut. Let's take a look and see how long that took. That was 2 minutes and 32 seconds. So here's a picture of our now engraved and cut cigar stand. Now what we need to do is take it upstairs and clean it up. I told you before I like to order in large sheets just to cut costs, so that's the remaining piece of the sheet that I have left. Way to save money. Okay, now what we need to do is remove the acrylic dust that's been etched off there. I like to use a little kind of, this is actually a brush that you can get in the crafting section. I think it's for like doing dabbing when you're doing painting. It gets down, the bristles get down into the engraved. So you're just removing all the extra fleck. It's just kind of nasty that you don't want to deal with it later, and it'll actually scratch your piece. The next thing I like to do is use, it's called a plastic razor blade. You can get these at Amazon. They're very nice to have around your shop. I use them all the time. It's great for removing tape or getting under things that you don't really want to scratch. So I start peeling it back and then go ahead and remove the masking for the acrylic. Should be pretty easy once you get underneath it. Sometimes small pieces will be left on the actual design, so then you got to get that off. And that can kind of be tricky. Sometimes you'll see me here using tape is the next thing to try to get it off, because you don't really want to scratch your acrylic, your nice acrylic. Depending upon the media, sometimes it'll come off, sometimes it won't. Here I'm trying to get it to come off, but as you'll see, it was pretty finicky. And I really only removed the small little bits of white dust. So I go back with the plastic scraper to get the remaining pieces off. As I said, you should have one of these in your toolkit. They're fabulous. You can replace the blade. I use it on all kinds of stuff. So do both sides, and being careful not to scrape it, but to scratch it. I mean, again, it's a 1/4 inch acrylic, so it looks really nice when you're done. It looks really heavy duty. I like to use a 1/4 inch as well for my keychains so they don't break. Found that the 1/8 inch is not very robust. Looks good. So we got to do the other one, which didn't have a logo on it. If you wanted to, you could logo this one as well. Sometimes I've put somebody's name on it, so they have the name on one side and whatever logo they want on the other. So it's kind of up to you. I like peeling these off. It's like peeling stickers off. Then we have 2 complete pieces, and we just put them together, and we have our cigar stand. Nice and sturdy, and that's how it looks when we're still in the shop putting it together. So this is me just showing you the edges of how clean they look, right? They look good, so I feel like I got the right good quality power on that. Again, thanks for watching our videos, and we hope you're learning something, and see you on Hustle and Burn.